Hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's up, Beth and Rockjam and anyone that's in chat that's not here yet. Dog, why do you start with me? As soon as I start talk, there goes karma. Go lay down. Go lay down. So I hope everyone's doing well. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And I actually have a lot to say tonight. First, let's talk about Karen Reed. Boom. Jackson was amazing. Absolutely amazing. The man deserves every fucking penny he gets. What a closing. Absolutely awesome. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but my little Facebook group, we were going crazy. Absolutely awesome closing. And hopefully she gets off. I still think the jury might be tainted, and that's a problem. But I really do. I'm starting to think that the jury might be as corrupt as the judge. Hang on 1 second. I gotta get the dog out. Come on, out. Out. Mm. All right. Yeah, he really was amazing. It was awesome. Now, you want to get out? You want to stay here? What, you want to bug me? You want to bug me, Pookie? What? You want to go out? I get rid of one dog, and then the other one comes. So, all right. Let's see what he does first. No, he wants to get out too. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. You want to go? What are you doing? You want to stay? You want to go? What you want, bro? What you want, bro? What? Why you keep bugging me? What? I went to the door. You stood there. You want to go out? Or you want to lay down? All right, let's go. Out. Mwah. Come on, out. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Booker, you're a pain in the ass. Ugh. What? Why did you bug me then? Ugh. Dogs, I'm telling you. Why do I have 3? Hey, you want your belly rubbed? Is that why you just want your belly rubbed? Okay, I gotta do a show. I gotta do a show, Buko. Alright. So I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, so I kind of think that maybe the judge is as corrupt. I mean, the jury is as corrupt as the judge. I don't know why I have the feeling, I just do. Like, why did she pick the one juror that didn't take any notes and was like smiling through the whole thing? Why were they your jury foreman. Like, it's just weird to me. And I don't think there's any way to prove that it's a tainted jury. Like, how far can you go? But I'm sorry. I don't trust any of them. I really don't. So I just had to say my piece about that. Hopefully, I'm wrong and the jury's not corrupt and she gets off. But hopefully, if the jury's not corrupt, eh, she's just not guilty all around. Period. She didn't get arrested for a DWI. I don't even know why they're fucking charging her with one, but the whole thing is ludicrous. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. They should have been done and out in 20 minutes. But they could be scared. I mean, you know what I mean? Small town. They could literally be scared to say not guilty. You know what I mean? Hey, Sly. You never know. All right. Second thing I want to say, I got my table saw. So for the last 2 days, I've been like, trying to figure out how to use it. And it was awesome. Do you think there's a jury plan? I don't know. I mean, we saw them do the little bingo balls and picking who's alternates, which that whole thing is weird to me too. Hey, Janessa, that whole thing is weird to me that they don't pick alternates at the beginning of the trial. They pick it like randomly at the end. That kind of sucks. And they say it's random, but who knows? You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not. I don't know. I just thought it was really weird. But I'm not familiar with Massachusetts law. But I would be pissed if I sat there the whole time thinking I'm on the jury and then all of a sudden you switch me out and I'm not on the jury. Well, that sucks. The fuck did I sit here for 12 weeks or whatever it was? Crazy. So, I got me a table saw and I'm loving it. I should have got one initially, but I fucking love it. Just trying not to cut my fingers off or my hand. But I'm making stuff. We finally got wax back in. I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning last night making room sprays and oils, and I still got to make labels for them. But trying to get ready for an entire summer of festivals and carnivals, and so by Sunday, I want to say Sunday or Monday. Hopefully by Sunday, I'm gonna have the website updated. I'm still waiting on lotion and a couple of other things, but I think you guys are gonna love. For those of you that buy oils and room sprays, new formula, it's fucking killer. It is. It looks good. It smells good. I'm really happy. I used a different manufacturer. Still waiting on the aroma beads to come in and a couple of scents, but we get enough that I can update the website and start pushing it. So big things coming by Sunday because I spent fuckloads of money this last week on supplies and we got to make it back. So there's that. Between wood supplies, candle supplies, yeah, I need to start making money back. So there's that. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to start with Joneson, because this has actually been bugging me since yesterday. So it was like, I want to say 1 o'clock in the morning that I was listening to Joneson, I think. Yeah, it had to be really late. I was doing the oils, and I hear Joneson mention my name. She was playing my live or whatever. And she had said, I don't hate Laura. I just don't agree with what she did. I know it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, but it's just not my kind of thing. Okay. She has every right to feel that way. I'm not, worried about it, but I do have something to say about it. There are many things, Joneson, that you've done that I would never do. But you know what I don't do? I don't bring it up every time I talk about you. Because the things that you've done don't define who you are as a person. Hang on. And to be fair, I am so fucking sick and tired of people acting like that's the only thing I've ever done on YouTube is I made a CPS call 5 years ago. Okay. And I have done much more on this platform positive to be known for than that. And those of you that just want to keep bringing it up and trying to make it out like that's the only thing in my life that I'm ever going to be known for, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Because again, Joneson, there's a lot of things that you have done that I have never done, that I would never do. And again, I don't point it out every time we talk about you. I don't have to tell my audience, yeah, well, I like her. I don't hate her, but it's wrong on many levels. Not only is it wrong, like you can have an opinion, everyone can have an opinion, but we all share subs. And it's kind of fucked up when, and I say this about anybody, when people that are quote unquote on the same side and know that their subs are on the same side, that you constantly have to say stupid shit. You can have whatever fucking opinion you want of me. I have no control over that. But at the same time, subs don't have to constantly hear it. Subs and little snide comments she made, like I'm an idiot or something. I mean, she didn't say that directly, but it was like little like, oh, Laura, something like Laura made sense here. Jones and I pretty much always fucking make sense. I mean, not to be a dick, but I do. It's just so many people have so much hate over nothing, which I'm going to address in a minute too. Have so much hate over nothing that I don't even give them the time of day. Like, I don't even fucking think about them. And every single fucking chat they're in, it's Laura this, Laura this, Laura this. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you have a creator that sits up there and makes snide comments. And the funniest thing is, she was saying shit and she couldn't be more wrong if she tried. But she doesn't know the situation. And, one of the things, hold on. Oh, shit. I gotta get my phone. Because I had text someone and be like, dude, she couldn't be more fucking wrong if she tried. One of them was Sunnyside, B Fergs, and someone that was probably MM under a fake name. These snide comments about me. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And, B Fergs, if I'm so horrible and I'm such a bad person, how come I've never used your kid against you? How come I've never said anything low and rude about you? Why is that if I'm such a horrible person? Because according to you, I'm just so horrible. I've never said anything low to you. I've never said anything gross to you. I've never even fucking thought it. But here you are in every fucking chat. You have to be a hateful cunt. Why? Same thing with you, Sunnyside. I've never fucking said one word about you. And here you are feeding off this bullshit in every fucking chat. Grow the fuck up, both of you. You guys act like 2-year-olds. What's her name? They were feeding Joneson some bullshit. And, dog, hold on. What? In or out? You're annoying. In or out? And, hey, sweet misery. And now I lost my train of thought because of the fucking dog. Oh. She had said something, or I had said the other night about MM going live, or she hasn't been live. She hasn't, as far as I know. I haven't heard anything. So Joneson was like, oh, has MM doesn't talk about you every day. Are you fucking kidding me, Joneson? She did for like 5 years. No joke. Her husband, this is what I heard. Her husband is on leave or something, so he's home all the time, so that's why she hasn't gone live. There was something else, I can't remember now, but there was something else that she said that was totally wrong, and her chat just ran with it. I'm like, really? This is why maybe you should learn what the fuck you're talking about first? And I don't dislike Joneson, but I can't stand the snide remarks for no reason. I can't stand the constant CPS. Oh, I know what it was. Well, I can't remember totally, but I do want to say this. I hear a lot where people say they don't know the situation. They don't know what I was going through, my headspace when I did that, blah, 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 blah. And I hear that often. So why doesn't that apply to me? All this cop calling bullshit, everyone fucking calling the cops all the time. But all of a sudden, when it comes to me, it doesn't apply. Fuck you. That's really how I feel. Fuck you. And then people wonder why I don't care. Why I feel this. Why you guys are the reason I don't care anymore. And if someone has a problem with that, that's their fucking problem. I don't give a fuck. I've gotten to that point. And there's not a person out here that would blame me for it. Plain and simple. And if you are going to blame me for it again, that's your problem. I'm also sick and tired of hearing how I didn't feel bad and I didn't apologize. All that bullshit. No. She wasn't using me for content. But I think when she saw that some of the people in her chat didn't like me, she ran with it and then ran with it, I guess. And that's why I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And there was one other thing. My phone's inside. If I can get my phone without letting the dogs in or out, I will. I mean, it was nothing major. It was just something she was totally wrong about. And again, I'm just sick and tired of, like, I know that people are never going to forget CPS, blah, blah, blah. Okay, get it. Got it. But it doesn't define me. And if I am so horrible and I'm such the horrible person, do you really think I would have fucking survived this last year if I was so horrible? If I was so bad? I cannot believe how many things others have done, but then they point the finger at me. Again, calling CPS on someone that had, you had a history and blah, 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 and nothing came of it is no fucking different than you guys calling the cops every other fucking day and using the cops as a weapon. It's the exact same thing. Now, if something would have happened and, kids would have been taken, that would have been different. But I knew none of that was going to fucking happen. And the fact that you get no fucking credit around here for telling the truth is even more of a mind fuck to people. Because, hey, don't tell the truth because they'll fucking hang you forever. But lie about it like everybody else and everyone will forget it shortly. And that's even more fucked up. So I'm just saying, I'm not asking anyone who has to, use that as an excuse to not like me or whatever the fucking reason. I don't care. But the bottom line is, it doesn't define who the fuck I am. And I'm sick and tired of it, of people trying to use it to define who the fuck I am. You don't like me, great. That fucking one account, oh my God, you guys got to see all the mentions. They're making videos about me like every hour. No joke. I'm like, wow, dude, get a fucking life. It's got to be Wispy's crew, but it's fucking comical to me. I am not that exciting, but the fact that I'm living so motherfucking rent-free in your head that you are making videos about me 1 to 2 hours. I mean, my mentions are fucking hysterical. It's Perplex, CPS, Home Depot, or something like that. 8 hours ago, 10 hours ago, 11 hours ago, 6 hours ago. Holy fuck, dude. I truly am living fucking rent-free in your head. Or, wow, just wow. Okay. Trust me, I am not even fucking thinking of you. You want to make videos about me? Great. Stop tagging me. I don't give a fuck. I don't watch them. I don't care about them. I just don't care. So you don't need to tag me. You're not getting anywhere. I look at my mentions maybe once every week, if that. And as soon as I see non-stop you, I delete it. So if you're trying to get my attention, you might get it once a week. And even then, you're not even going to get my attention because honestly, I don't watch them. I'm not promoting you. I don't give a fuck. That you seriously have a mental issue to make videos that much. I don't fuck with you. I don't talk about you. Nor do I even work at Home Depot. So carry on with your badass self. It's fucking weird. So, okay, so that I want to mention. And now I want to bring up Salty. And the reason I want to bring up Salty ties into Jonesin. Hey, Melissa. So Jonesin, I just told you guys what happened with Jonesin. Now, Salty and I have been going live a lot around the same time. So I haven't really been in any of her lives, but I watch them on the replay. And I don't really care to hear about Barbecue Lady. So I haven't watched those. But the difference between a mature mentality like myself, hey East Coast, and Jones's mentality, which is very immature, and I'm going to explain why. Do I co-sign everything that Salty does? Probably not. Do I agree with what she did? No, not really. Do I think it's wrong? Yeah, I guess. But the reality is, it doesn't have a fuck thing to do with me. And I'm not going to fault someone for something they did. Thank you. Welcome, Melissa. I'm not going to fault someone for something they did that doesn't have a fuck thing to do with me. She must have her reasons for doing what she did. She must have her reasons for being friends with Barbecue's mom. And they're not reasons that fucking involve me. So if I don't agree with it, I just won't go watch, her channel. But I'm not going to make that define her. It's not going to be something that's all she is. And I feel like that's happening. And I got Salty's back and I told her that. Like, I respect that. That doesn't mean that I gotta fucking co-sign every single thing she does. Doesn't mean that I gotta bitch her out. I just won't watch shit that has to go with whatchamacallit, with Barbecue Lady. And I don't know why more people can't think like that. Because again, I'm not going to define her and everything she's about by quote unquote, I'm going to call it a mistake for argument's sake. For the one mistake she may have made and didn't know if she could take it back or didn't want to take it back, or who knows, I haven't spoken to her about it. But do I think it was wrong? I think it was wrong. But it's not my problem. It's not my opinion. So am I going to bash her and just totally, never speak to her again or never watch her again based on one mistake she made or one thing she did? Fuck no. I think that's stupid. And that would be so fucking hypocritical of me to do that. And that's what I feel about Jonesin. Like, Jonesin, you are not a fucking angel. You make it out like you're this holier than thou perfect fucking angel. And again, you've done shit that I wouldn't even think of doing. And I don't sit there and blame you for it. I don't sit there and fucking hold it against you and say, oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. It's just such an immature way to think. And again, I'm not saying you're going to like me. I'm not saying that, you got to accept anything. Do not get me wrong. Get it. Totally get it. But I just, when it gets said to subs, then subs feel like they can't, they can't be seen in my chat because, their favorite creator doesn't like them. We're on the same side here. And I hate using the word side, but it's true. There are sides in this community. And us on this side, we got to stick together for subs' sake. And I mean that honestly. Subs are really fucking confused right now, especially what just happened. But you never hear, this is what you don't hear. Hold on. I never hear Christine Randall. No, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Let's use the lolcow community. I'm going to use them since Jonesin follows them. And AMAC might be hooking up with Tina, which I don't know how well that would go over, but either way. Do you ever hear them talk shit about each other on a serious note? No, you don't. Even if they're mad at each other, they'll do it publicly, but it's all for super chats. They're not, if they didn't make money talking smack about each other, they wouldn't do it. It's such a wrong thing to do, I guess. It's one of the reasons I dropped my sword with Sinner. And I believe it's probably one of the reasons he dropped his sword with me. It's better for subs when a community gets along. When the community can't get along, then subs want to at least have sides. You're either on this side or you're on that side. They don't want to be on the other side. But they want to know that they can at least go to every fucking chat on this side and feel good about it. Even if their creator doesn't like them. And once a creator starts talking shit about another creator on the same side, or snarky little comments or anything else, you're not hurting the creator. You're hurting the subs. And maybe to you it doesn't matter, but besides a few haters that were in your chat, the same fucking haters for the same fucking 20 years, Besides them, why don't you try asking them if I'm right? Just ask your subs. Fuck me. Just ask your subs. But I would guarantee you, they'll tell you, yeah, they would love to go wherever they want to go. And it's not that they can, it's not that you're telling them not to. But I've been around YouTube long enough, and I've had enough subs come and go, I've had Patreon forever. I do speak to my subs, and I do know that I'm right on this. It's why even in the drama community, we would drop our swords continually. You know, all right, let's drop our swords tonight because, you know, this happened or that happened, whatever, even if it was for one night. But we would do that because we were a community. But now with the whole sides things, it's different. So it's not even like there's that many of us on this side, because there's not. There's way more of them on the other side. So I just hope that you'll think before you speak sometimes, Jonesin. And I know that you always say, oh, you're not in this community. Yes, you are. Stop saying you're not, because you are. And honestly, I'm kind of tired of hearing, well, we're not in this community anymore, but we're going to talk about it. Well, then you're in the fucking community. So, that's what I want to say there. Now let's get into unsupervised maniacs, which comes down to Salty and Sinner. First thing I want to say is I thought her live tonight was good. I do. Well, after, you know, the beginning video. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, I feel like it's a trigger for her and maybe others of Salty saying it. And I think, and again, this is just my opinion, and I think she doesn't want to say that maybe it's triggering for her. Maybe it's a weakness of hers. You know, some people like feel weak when they, you know, talk about certain things. So maybe it's a trigger like that. Again, I don't know. It's just a guess. And I know that when Cam and Allie were doing drugs on camera, and I called that out, it was very triggering for the person that told me about it. So that's why I think that maybe it's triggering for her and she just doesn't want to admit it in a outright kind of way. So maybe this is her way, or maybe just Irish. Because I hate to see friendships blow, and I know that her and Sinner were close. So it really, it hurts that they had a fallout, and I haven't seen Just Irish anywhere. There are some people in Sinner's chat, not many, only very few, that I really don't think have Sinner's best intention at heart. But it's not my place to say anything. And I don't mean like there's a lot of them. Just a few. I don't know. Something tells me that they just don't have his best intention at heart. Did I say that wrong? Well, you guys know what I mean. Hey, eavesdropper. Hey, Celsius. Think she's buddy with Melissa. Melissa put it up. Yeah, I don't know about that whole thing. Exactly. A lot of people do love Irish, but there are a few that I've noticed that I feel like are kind of pushing Irish away, maybe. And I think it's funny too, like new creators, like Sinner's a very new creator, read all the emails. Yeah, we all did. Now, people know not to even try to email me because I may read it like 3 days later. And if it's longer than 2 lines, I'm not reading it. Unless it's about candles, then I will. Business. But if it's not business, nah. Sometimes I'll go like a week, 2 weeks without checking email. So I think that's kind of funny. Now, the whole Melissa thing, nobody talked about a her child. So I'm not really sure why she's wrapped up in all of this. That's the one thing I don't know. And again, it's really not my business why she's wrapped up in it. I don't fuck with her. I do owe her an apology though, because so Melissa, if you're listening, I do owe you an apology. I couldn't find where you talk shit about me personally, so I apologize. I told you I gave you an apology, and there's your apology. I'm a woman of my word. But I don't know if she's wrapped it up all in this because of Salty, because of Barbecue Lady, because of Unsupervised Maniacs. I don't know. I don't know why she's all up in it. Maybe she's not getting enough attention over at the B. I don't know. But again, it's not my business. She's not a sub here, so whatever. Um, and I just like I'm torn with the whole Salty unsupervised because on one half of me I'm like, okay, maybe she just is triggered by it. But then on the flip side, if she's triggered by it, it's not Salty's problem because Salty wasn't talking about her. But then again, the person got triggered from Cam and Allie doing drugs, and that had nothing to do with me. So I'm like all over the place with this. But I want you guys to hear Unsupervised Maniacs live before. And I think it'll give you guys maybe a better understanding of why I'm confused. Now, she wanted Sinner to go up there and talk. Sinner chose not to. And I also, like, she had made a comment. Yeah, she had made a comment about him talking about Queen Bee and the daughter. And I wanted to correct this because this is like reminds me of the CPS thing. Sinner did not do anything to Queen Bee's daughter. He did not exploit anything with Queen Bee's daughter. All he did was show that Queen Bee is a shitty mom. That's it. It's public record. It people are making it out like, he spoke to the ex and had all this stuff and it just totally got twisted into something it wasn't. I don't think that's exploiting a daughter. I just don't. And I was very shocked when Kim said that today. Because I'm like, dude, he didn't do anything to the daughter. And she was like, it should have been kept quiet or whatever, or the FOIA. Okay. But did it even start with him? No. But we won't go there. But let me pull it up. I mean, do you guys like get what I'm saying though? I told you it was ramblings on Friday the 13th. And by the way, I'm putting together sound effects because I do have a soundboard, but I am putting together sound effects because I know you guys just love them. Hold on. History. Well, then QB came in that chat. I think more. QB came in what chat? QB came in unsupervised chat? Oh, maybe because of Melissa. Hartley, get a fucking life. Oh. Where's it? Oh, here it is. Alright, I'm gonna go past the beginning stuff.
Made sure she got bullet.
Save the tears, ignore the pain.
Was supposed to be about.
She doesn't have chat showing.
But there's some things that I just need to say. So anyways, first and foremost, I want to apologize for using the offensive, derogatory slur I used. For anyone that doesn't know, I used the word retarded when talking about someone's behaviors and actions. And I acknowledge that word has a painful history of discrimination and prejudice.
Exactly, Celsius. But she sits over there and is Queen Bee's right-hand girl. Like, Hartley, go fuck yourself. Like, you are so pathetic.
And it just perpetuated a negative atmosphere that strips away the dignity and the worth of the person with a disability. So I am very sorry and embarrassed, and will be more careful with my choice of words. And I'm sorry to anybody that that hurt or was affected by it. Second thing I want to talk about is no, I was not drinking. I actually was going to keep it that way because I thought that would be easier than to actually have a conversation. But I am going to just have the conversation. I don't know if a lot of people know I have lupus, and I've had it since I was 22 years old. And for the most part, I'm fairly healthy. I take my meds every day and I don't have any issues. Well, when I'm under a lot of stress or my anxiety goes up, I get flare-ups. And so that day I did take pain medication, and I did take Flexeril, which is a muscle relaxer, and I did take cough medicine because I've had a cough. So clearly, that probably wasn't the best idea to go live when I did. So again, I apologize if that triggered anybody, or again, I'm probably like a little less understanding at that point. But there was just a lot going on that, and again, it's not an excuse, but there was a lot going on that I internalized. So then I get snappy and I take things out on people. So, and then to Brittany J. Now, I made a comment. I said some things about that I think that, she enjoys this, and that probably wasn't the best choice of words. What I mean to say is, I think at this time, it's mutual combat. And and I get people may not agree with me with saying that, but that's just how I see it at this point. I know that, a lot of her stuff.
I said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of people think, well, Britney must love the drama, blah, blah, blah. If Britney ignores it, it doesn't matter. There are certain things she should ignore and just move on. But to say that she likes it is just wrong. And it's because she's being attacked every minute of every day. Does she like the money she's making? I'm sure she does. But as I said in the beginning, she's lost more than she's gained. And she may not realize it yet, but she will.
Subs and everything have like begged her, please don't respond. And I get that, sometimes, people go lower than others. And I don't know what to do about it. I just don't. I think that, it has to stop though, especially when, CPS is getting involved and people's court dates are being put on posts and, when it's which should be private. And I don't like it. I don't like all of this stuff. I think that unfortunately for all of us, we get caught up in a lot of things and it's just not, it just really doesn't help the situation for anybody at all. And I think also like picking a side thing. And I think a lot of us get caught up. Well, I do, that you pick a side and you're kind of beholden to that side. And I don't know that you always have to be that way. I think that you can still see, bad things on the other side and still be able to say something about them without saying, oh, well, Kim, you're taking up for barbecue lady. I don't even know her, but I do know that I cannot stand by and watch, her trauma be used against her like that. I refuse to do it and I won't do it. So it has nothing to do. I've never even had a conversation with barbecue lady. So it had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with, I just won't sit there and listen to it. I'm just not going to do that, no matter who it is. And I don't care who likes that or who doesn't like that. I don't have to like somebody to see what's happening to them is just completely unacceptable.
And I absolutely agree with you, which is why I have issues with certain people being called out and certain people not.
Acceptable. So, I mean, and that's going to make a lot of people mad because a lot of people want, to be on one side. And I'm just not doing that. Now, the other thing that I was sent was accusations of treating behind the scenes, that I'm treating people behind the scenes. Okay, let's first talk about Melissa, Justice for Alyssa. I've never had a phone conversation with Melissa. We've exchanged a few texts. I first reached out to her because I wanted to do a video on her daughter's.
Ding, 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 Celsius, you're 100% right. And I said that to her. And that's what I was saying the other night. It doesn't matter. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but you're only doing it over here. There's so much shit going on over there, and you're not saying a word. That's the problem.
Story. We've probably maybe had 15 texts, if that. The last time that she texted me was, I believe, like the beginning of May, I think it was, that she was a little upset with me. Well, I asked her to text me because I had put a post up where I was calling out the people talking about Brittany's assault. And then, she wasn't happy with me and she went into the comments and she said, well, what about what was said about me? And I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. And so I said, well, just text me. So she texted me and she sent me the screenshot of it. And what she said is absolutely true. I mean, this comment was just absolutely disgusting. I'm saying things like, your daughter's dead because you're a horrible mother. And why? Why? Just to be mean and nasty. And of course, if I would have seen it, I absolutely would have said something. So I understand why she was upset. And then, but I still like Melissa. I mean, we don't have.
All right, let me interject something on this. This has been bothering me for a few hours now. And you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong. Melissa said that what Clue said bothers her so much, rightfully so. But if someone, all right, I'll use Celsius, for example, the first ones to come up. If Celsius was giving me hundreds of dollars a night, thousands of dollars a week, and they allowed someone that said something so fucking vile to me, and they're on their panel every single night, then that comment obviously didn't bother them that much. Because I know for me that if I was supporting someone and they were allowing trash like that on their panel nightly, buddy, and I'm still supporting them financially, then that comment obviously didn't bother me that much, because it certainly didn't bother Queen Bee. And if it didn't bother Queen Bee, then Queen Bee doesn't give a fuck. Queen Bee just doesn't care. So because she doesn't care, why are you still supporting her? You're still supporting her because the comment didn't mean much to you. You're just using it as a crutch. That's how I see it. Am I wrong?
Have like a friendship or anything, but I don't have any problem with her. She's always been kind to me. I've never had an issue. So, and again, I'm not always privy to everybody else's crap that's going on behind the scenes. I just don't see it, and honestly, I really don't care. And, and I don't mean that in a mean way that like somebody doesn't matter. It's just certain things. And I think every person has that, you have certain things.
I don't know enough about barbecue to know if she lied. I don't know. I'm not that involved or invested. But Celsius, I don't know why. I can't figure that one out.
That really make you want to speak out and make you want to say something. And I get that some people don't have, the same things that I speak out about. So I get that. Laura, it's not even.
All right, so now she brings up me. I almost fucking choked this afternoon. I'll explain why afterwards.
That Laura's a problem, but I guess Laura had said something about, or one of us did, about Laura and I talking behind the scenes. And again, this had nothing to do with treatment. What it had to do with was Laura had a really good friend that was in a abusive relationship for a really long time and kept, leaving, going back. And, Laura reached out to me and said, how can I support her? What's the best way that I can support my friend without alienating her? And
the reason why I almost choked when I heard that, because I never told you guys that. That wasn't meant for public consumption. I doubt she knew that, but I didn't want to say anything. I've always told you guys I spoke to her about a situation, but I never said what the situation was. So when she said it, I was like, oh my God, no, you did not. But I mean, it's all right. I'm not mad at her for it. I don't think she did it like with malice or intention. I just couldn't believe she said it. I'm like, no, I didn't tell anyone why I spoke to you. I mean, it wasn't about me, but still. So again, when I heard it, I like literally almost spit out my drink. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? But again, I don't think she did it with, bad intention or anything. But I just feel like, why does anyone even care why you spoke to me? Like, it's nobody's fucking business. Like, I don't tell anyone why I speak to people. I speak to them because I like them, or I speak to them for whatever reason. I don't I don't owe people an explanation. I mean, like, if all of a sudden me and Molly were talking again and I was doing it behind my Patreon's backs, yeah, they have a right to fucking know. They're, support me and shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought it was fucked up. I was like, no, why is she telling everyone this? I was mad.
And I gave her some advice on how to do that. So, if people want to write, comments and run your mouth and say, that I'm not this, or it's bad of me to treat people behind the scenes. I don't treat anybody behind the scenes. And if anybody reaches out to me, I will absolutely help them find the resources and give advice. So, and if you don't like that, I really don't care. I've had people reach out to me and help because they were lower income and they needed help finding a therapist for their child in their state. And, I was able to help with that. About 2 weeks ago, I think it's been about 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks or something, but I got an email from somebody that I had never talked to or seen before, and they were not in a good place. And, we went back and forth in emails a couple times, and I was finally able to get them to give me their phone number. And then once I did that, I was able to talk them into let me sending somebody to them. And, if people get pissed off about that, I can't, there's nothing I can do to help you. I'm going to do it. So you can write your little smart ass comments in comment sections, but it's just the way it is. Sorry. Sinner. I apologize for bringing up your drinking. That was completely inappropriate, and I have no excuse for it. I did it to be a bitch. I was pissed off. And that doesn't, again, that's not any reason for me. It's not an excuse for me. But that's why I did it.
Exactly, Linda. But the problem is, too many subs do it. I've been saying this for so long. Too many subs do it. They run with it and they think it's okay. That's why there was the whole beginning of my stream. That's why creators should not fight with other creators in the same community, because it doesn't look good on subs. It doesn't put subs in a good position.
I was just mad and I was trying to hurt you. And, and again, I apologize. That's completely inappropriate. There was a lot going on at the time. I just was really upset about what happened with Just Irish and how she was treated, because, I'm the one that originally asked her to reach out to you, because we're going to go through the comments later on in this video. And it wasn't to make you choose a side. She showed me the emails. I read them. Maybe you read them wrong. I don't know. But I just, I just don't like, I seen that chat turn on Just Irish. And I know Just Irish had relationships with a lot of people behind the scenes in that chat. I don't really do a whole lot of relationships behind the scene, because this is what happens. People get really hurt and their feelings get upset. And, she has every right to be, and I don't know. That was really difficult to watch. It just was. It was just really difficult. As you know, Senator, I don't agree with, putting Queen Bee's court records. I hate that. I don't like, saying your body. I don't like any of it. I just don't. I don't like her putting you on her platform either. But unfortunately, the way that everything is working around here. Now, see, Sinner, why are you coming in here causing a fight? I read the emails. I saw them. And like I said, I don't know if maybe you took them wrong. I don't know. But please don't come in here arguing with me. Again, this is how I see it and how I feel about it. Because like I said, I am the one that asked her to reach out to you in the first place, because I did email you, because I just wanted you to have the heads up as to why this was going to be a problem. And like I said, I don't know what was lost in translation. From what I understand, you've been having a field day talking about me on live streams anyway, and it really doesn't matter. But I just want to be clear about that I that just really bothered me. And I don't know where anybody goes from here, because unfortunately at this point, if I stick up for, something being done to Queen Bee, then all of a sudden I'm against Sinner, or I'm against Brittany, or I'm against this one, or I'm against this one. The problem is I can still see the bad in all of it.
Yes, but what you're missing, Kim, honestly, and I hope you hear this, what you're missing is you're not having this same energy when it comes to the shit that Queen Bee does. That's what everyone is mad at. That's what Sinner's people are mad at. That's what Brittany's people are mad at. That's what my people are mad at, is that you can definitely have your opinions. You can voice your opinions. You can do all that. But you have to have the same energy with those people that you do with these people. That's what everyone is pissed at. And I think you just don't realize that.
What you agree with, both of you can kiss my, and this is typical, Sinner. I mean, you know what? Later on, you can come on up on panel if you want to, but I really didn't expect much from you. I mean, what did you think you were going to get from me? I gave you what I could, and I meant what I said, that I should have never said that about you. But outside of that, I didn't do anything to you. And I'm sorry that you don't like that. I don't like some of the stuff that you do. I mean, that's just the way it is. And unfortunately, that's the way this entire community has been working. That you can't, stand up for somebody because
And here's the other thing. This girl, Brandy Wine on Twitter, is so obsessed with Brittany. But it was interesting because one of the things she said, was it yesterday? But someone had wrote something about Clue and Cletus, and something about it not being Clue's house, and something about Cletus taking care of her, or whatever it was. And she was like, "School this bitch." And I'm saying to myself, the girl's right. It's Cletus's ex-husband's house, ex-wife's house. But she couldn't get, like, it had to be where this bitch was lying and blah, blah, blah. And it just goes to show that they don't even correct the haters. They just run with it. And then more people lie, and then more people lie. And then something that's actually true gets spun around 50 times to be false. And Kim, where are you to call it out? Where's, as I say about Jones and crew, where's the righteous do-gooders calling out all the bad?
The minute that I stood up for Brittany, everybody, why are you simping for Brittany? I mean, you cannot win here. It doesn't matter what anybody says, you cannot win. The minute you point something out, everybody's mad. And to be honest, I really don't even.
And let me also point something out here. I don't agree with a lot of shit Sinner's done. I don't agree with a lot of shit Salty's done. I don't agree with a lot of shit Brittany's done. And you know what? I bet they don't agree with a lot of shit that I've said or done. But when they start talking about shit that I don't agree with, I leave. I'm a grown adult. I don't need to call out every little thing. Why? It's not me. I'm not, I'm not Sinner. I don't have to agree with everything he said and does because I'm not involved in it. And that's what I think people lost somewhere. Like, we're all grown adults. If you don't like something, just walk away. Now, that doesn't mean you can't call it out once in a while. I mean, I call out shit. But I'm not going to call out people that my subs go to and interact with. And it's my choice to just walk away. Now, will I call out the other side? Fuck yeah. But if I normally enjoy a chat and I don't agree with something they're doing, then I'll just leave the chat that day. Doesn't mean I dislike them. Doesn't mean I, hate them. And I just think that that's where shit's getting lost lately.
Care anymore, because I will continue to do it when I want to and when it's important to me. Outside of that, I don't really care. Yeah. Oh, it's funny, Sinner. There was no drama until you came in here. No drama at all. It was me talking about how I felt about things and how the live stream went. And it's hysterical to me. Hysterical. You talk about selling drama. I mean, seriously, dude? Are you kidding me? Every stream is the same with you. Every single stream. I just don't understand why you think this is okay to come in here and fight. And I agree. And that's my whole point. I think that Sinner and Just Irish should have, he should have reached out to her privately instead of bringing it to the platform. And when I saw that, yeah, I was upset. It's crazy. Oh, I sell trauma now. Well, it must not make me a lot of money since I'm not monetized, huh? See, you're showing your ass again, Sinner. Because I have been nothing but respectful, but because you don't like some of my opinions, you're in your feelings now. Well, that's on you. Because and I will tell you something, if you think you're going to play
Sly, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, every single stream is the same on Clue and QB and Jay and anyone, Brandy Wine, they're all the same. How come that doesn't get called out?
a bully over here with me, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And you're right, East Coast Beauty, he does have and I didn't say he didn't. I also said I understand when she puts his family on her. It's astonishing to me. You cannot handle any pushback at all. Any pushback, if you get any, you lose your shit. But I want to say something. I hear all the time, well, they didn't press charges. They didn't go to the police. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Well, there's, out of every 1,000, 310 people come forward. And that says a lot. And I believe it's maybe 98 that actually end up doing any kind of time at all. That's rough. Everybody, right now, everyone wants Madeline Soto's mother to be charged, right? But apparently there just isn't enough evidence for it. Now, we all may think that she deserves to be charged and want her to be charged, but that's just not the way this whole thing works, unfortunately. So, and then the other problem that I have with the stream that Salty did was the fact that, outside of the fact that it was a CSA debunking video, but then she goes into later talking about showing another woman's picture, talking about that she probably has never sucked a D, and that how much she loves sex. And it was just really odd that, well, why is this at the end of a stream about someone's childhood sexual assault?
Okay, I don't think Salty did that on purpose. I heard that stream. I was laughing when she was like, and I just love sex. I don't think she meant to put two and two together like that. I think it was, or not even I think, I feel the flow of the conversation went that way. Just because you start out talking about one thing on a stream doesn't mean you end up talking about that the entire stream. I have started out streams on one topic and then go to another one. And by the end of the stream, I'm nowhere on the same topic as the beginning of it. And I really feel that's what Salty did. The two shouldn't have been put together. I can see why somebody put it together, but I did not get that. I really feel like Salty just went on a different topic.
Please don't fight in the chat. Listen, I know that you guys may all come from different communities, but please just try.
Okay, so I'm assuming Queen Bee came in chat at that time, and that's what people were talking about no fighting in chat. I'm assuming that's when QB went in there.
To make, not to fight. Everybody can, have an opinion. Please just don't go after each other. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing, even if it's somebody you like, expressing, well, I don't like that you did this. It doesn't mean that. Are you talking to me, Marie? Because I've been nothing but kind. I don't. Okay, no fighting in the chat, please. And I do agree with that, Marie. I do agree that Sinner has been put in positions where he has to come out swinging. I do. That doesn't mean that I have to agree with it and agree with the tactics, should I say. You know what I mean? It's just odd. And I don't want anybody's kids brought on here. I don't want Brittany's kids talked about on here. I don't want anyone's kids talked about here. I just think it's lowbrow when you do that. It shows that you have nothing else to do. Well, you're right, No Madness, but you do. You clearly see you have to. Because if you don't, then
I also want to add something here because this fucking drives me nuts. Everyone is always like, no kids, no kids, no kids. What the fuck? People act like, someone's calling your daughter a horrible name or your son a horrible name, and they have. But most, I don't even know how to put this in words. But when you attack someone's mother constantly, that's going to affect the kids. So you might as well just talk about the fucking kids. Not everybody can just turn it off. Some people can't. I can. But a lot of people can't. So when you go after, you don't know how Brittany is offline. So when I constantly hear about, stop talking about kids, blah, blah, blah. You affect the mom, you're affecting the kids. So what's the difference? I just don't get it. I really don't.
Then you're the worst person ever. And you have someone come in and tell me they're going to talk about me on live streams now. Okay. I mean, that's what you want to do. But I just think that it's really important, especially when it comes to things like people's children or someone's sexual assault or something like that, everybody should be able to speak up on it and say, please, don't do it about this. Don't sit there and tell people every day that you're going to get body cams of another creator, or that you're saying, oh, they're in a bad mood today because they had to go to their court hearing, for their custody. That's just gross. It just,
not for nothing, but I can think of some really gross shit that QB has done to Britney and her people have done to Britney. And I don't hear that being called out. Same stuff Clue has said, stuff Jay has said. Why isn't that being called out? Because they're a hell of a lot worse than Sinner bringing up a public document. I don't see Sinner going through Rebecca's address. I don't see Sinner sitting up there telling everyone where he lives, how to get to the house. She does it to Sinner. She does it to Britney. And when they fire back, all of a sudden they're wrong? No, that's bullshit. Someone can fight back any way they damn well please. And if someone doesn't like it, then don't fuck with them in the first place. And I am a strong believer in that.
it is. No, Casey. See, and that's what he told you. I never asked him to choose a side. Not once, not ever. I wanted him, again, we're going to go through the comments that were sent to me, and I'm going to show you how his name was constantly dragged in, as long and Queen Bee's as well. And neither one of them were even involved. But this person wanted to make sure that she secured. Yes, Lotus Bloom, it is. This person wanted to make sure that she secured, the backing of these people. So they went around in comments constantly using these people's names. And that was the whole point. Hey, just letting you know, this is what's going on. Make sure you know. Because again, of course, as soon as I say something about Sinner, or I say something about this one, whoever doesn't like Sinner is going to play the content. If I say something about Sinner, about somebody that Sinner doesn't like, someone like him will use the content. And it's just unfortunate, but that's where it is right now. And I honestly don't know how to go back from there. I don't.
And that's another thing. I don't watch Jay, but how come Jay's never called out? How come nobody ever says a word about the shit that Jay says? Because every time I mention her name, everybody's like, oh my God, the shit she says is so fucking gross. How come nobody ever fucking calls it out?
You validated Queen Bee. Wait a minute. What? You validated Queen Bee and gave your stamp of approval of how she treats Sinner and others. No, I didn't. No, I haven't. See, again, you clearly don't pay attention to anything I've said. It's just, I don't understand why it has to be like this.
Well, why don't you take a look at QB, Clue, Jay, Brittany. No, not Brittany. Why don't you take a look at the three of them, and then you'll know why it's like this. And it's not coming from Brittany, Sinner. It's coming from them.
I didn't block you. And like I said, Sinner, you can come up. But didn't you just tell me you're out of here? It's whack. Didn't you tell me that? I didn't block anybody. You kind of did with respect. You did. I'm not sure what you're saying, East Coast Beauty. Are you talking to me? I just want to make sure. Right. No madness. Exactly right. Exactly right. It just, I don't understand, but again, it's a temper tantrum. I mean, and hey, well, I didn't block you. I'm just over it. Okay. Anyways, we're going to move on from that from right now. And we're going to go on and we're going to look at the comments that started this whole thing off and why Sinner was being reached out to. And again, for this narrative, I think it is absolutely disgusting, and she spelled that wrong, to lie and say your mom is a pedo when she is not. If they will lie on their mom, they will lie on anyone. Evidenced by Queen calling Sinner a predator and Johnson a victim of something she wasn't. You need to focus your attention towards the real problems, girl. Okay, well, let's talk about that. I did stand up for Sinner, and I still do when he's being called those things. When they accused him of beating women, I absolutely stood up for him and said that. Johnson, I absolutely did stand up for her. So again, you don't know, but this is what you're in comments saying when you have no clue what you're talking about. And this is the problem. Let's go on to the next one. And this, I quote tweet, it's not tweet here, but I quote posted one of Salty's things. And I think I said something like, oh, she really thinks she's doing something. Of course, I was being a smartass. And someone says she actually is doing something by standing on the truth. People that falsely accuse are not only dangerous, but put innocent people in danger. They're pathetic, ruining someone's life with lies. Why? Because you're mad. You hate your mom? So you think everyone should hate her? Girl, Barbecue is a manipulator. She knows exactly what she's doing and gained a new victim card in the process. Now she's teaching her children this is acceptable behavior. I would truly hate to receive her karma. Now, please don't fight in the chat. Now, does she know my mom? And again, this is simply because I said I don't want her over there debunking someone's trauma. Okay, let's move on. Using someone's trauma, you can keep the snark and keep it at a good place. Many of us have traumas, and we don't go around putting it off on making nefarious claims on innocent people. Ching, ching. You jumped on the short bus. I actually do like this comment. I think this comment's pretty funny, though. I jumped on the short bus. I did laugh about this. And I think this is somebody that I actually like. So, but I'm not, that's why I blocked all their names out. But I get it. Okay, let's see what else we got. And this was, this was just, I think it may have been the same person that, Melissa, please, please, no fighting in the chat. This was just, I don't know why this one's here, but okay. Unsupervised Maniacs. So then I guess we all need to stop defending Sinner, right? Wait a minute. Let me go back. Sorry. So then I guess we all need to stop defending Sinner too, right? Because Queen Bee's daughter's trauma when it comes to what Sinner did isn't content, right? By your words, not mine. And yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Okay, maybe I'm missing some, but what did Sinner do to Queen Bee's daughter's trauma? Like, what? I don't get that. That took me for a loop. I'm like, what trauma did Sinner cause? Sinner didn't exploit someone's trauma. It's public info.
That her daughter should not be up there. And again, it's not that Sinner went and got a minor's police report. That's not what happened. It was an adult police report that a child was named in. But I still don't believe it should be out here. That's all. And I can have that opinion, and I'm entitled to that opinion. Unless, you're Sinner and you're all mad, Well, I'm sorry. Okay, East Coast, bye-bye. And then she writes, I mean, QB's daughter's trauma isn't content, right? Sorry, Sinner can't defend you anymore. Now, this was before all of this even started. And this is what she's been doing in comments after comments after comments. bringing Sinner and Queen Bee into it when neither of them had anything to do with it at all. But she just wouldn't stop. And it just continued.
Sweet Misery, I so agree with that. I'm so fucking tired of hearing about QB's kid. I agree. I haven't listened to QB in a while. I can't. She's trying to blame others for ridiculous behavior followed by deflection. Who? Salty or unsupervised?
And that's why unsupervised maniacs. Maybe you believe everyone claiming to be a victim, but I don't believe known liars who have a pattern of calling innocent people predators. Keep pushing this, and I promise you it won't go the way you think. But see, Marie, what you're missing is he's saying that I asked him to choose. This is what she was doing prior to any of this happening. She was building this up and trying to create this. This has been going on in comment sections all over the place. And that was the only thing that Irish was trying to show him. She's dragging you and Queen Bee into this. And she didn't want it to be like that. And she was trying to protect him and say, she's pulling you in here. That's it. That's all. And this just continued to go on. And again, these are two people, which I don't even think we need to go into all these because actually it just doesn't even matter at this point. But that's the point that I'm trying to make to Sinner is this is why I reached out to him in an email. And then when I didn't hear from him, I knew.
A dude who then beat the shit out of her. Celsius, honestly though, I don't know enough about Jay. I never liked Jay when she was with Kay. Never liked her. But I have done some videos on her when I was still friendly with Kay. I don't think Sinner was mad at her for opinions. The B thing, he was upset and felt betrayed. Marie, personally, I do think Sinner took it wrong. Sinner does take a lot of things wrong. And hearing both sides of it, I do think he misunderstood something that just escalated. But I could be wrong.
Him and Irish were friends. So I said, hey, can you let him know that this is going on? Because this is going to cause a war. Because Queen's not going to be happy. Her child's being mentioned here, and Sinner's not going to be happy that she's saying, well, isn't what Queen, what Sinner did with Queen Bee's daughters report the same thing? So again, it was just to try to stop it. That's it. She never once said you have to pick a side. I certainly didn't, because I didn't even talk to him until the day I got on his panel. And I told him very clearly it wasn't about picking a side. It was just about you have to be aware of what's going on. And this is going to cause problems with everybody. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. And there's nothing that's going to fix it, because I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to agree with something I don't agree with. And he's always known what I don't agree with. So it's not new. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, Sinner. Okay, Sinner. I don't. Okay, Sinner, do you want to come up or you just want to sit and chat? Because you're welcome to come up. I'm not going to continue to have this debate. I saw the emails. Like I said, I don't hang out in the Discords and stuff like that. And I know a lot of you guys have your friendships outside of there. And I understand that. And I think that, maybe that's what happened there. Because, Sinner did say he had a lot going on and he wasn't seeing everything. So, you know, maybe he just felt overwhelmed. I don't know. But
Now, before anyone has a heart attack or any haters like, oh my God, she was passing QB's info. It was a fucking screenshot of she was fighting with Brenda in Unsupervised Maniacs chat. That's what it was. Just so anyone has a, you know, a fucking heart failure. I already have QB's info. I don't need it. Remember, Yup, was it wrong to educate the community about Yup? If a content creator is lying and escalating in violent tendencies, maybe we ought to know. Totally agree.
I can honestly say that I read the messages, and I don't see where she was trying to be mean. I didn't do you dirty at all. Come on up and tell me how I did you dirty. Because what you'll do is you'll go on your live stream and you'll just spout out whatever you want. Well, I'm here right now. So come on up and you can have a conversation with me. You know, and I just don't understand what the problem is. Okay, so does anybody want to come up before I agree, Sarah, and that's what I tried to tell him, that he should have talked with Irish behind the scenes. Like what was done to Little Irish. That's Sarah, and read it and listen.
That was pretty much it. Nobody wanted to go on panel. So, I'm tired. So that was pretty much all I had to say tonight. I just wanted to get it all out. And when I heard her stream, I kind of wanted to address it because I really do feel like there is so much miscommunication going on and so many people are missing everyone's point. And then it just becomes fuckery around everywhere. So sometimes I feel like somebody's got to be the one to not call it out, but somebody's got to be the one to explain the reality of it instead of all the miscommunication. So that's where I am. That's what I'm going to do. So this way there's no more confusion. Because there seems to be a lot of it. And the people that are hurting are the kids. Are the subs. Sweet Misery, your scent is the only one I haven't gotten in yet. No, I mean, Senna really does take things wrong. I mean, I know that from myself. But it's one of those things I've learned about him. I don't know why they didn't talk privately. So, all right, I'm going to get going because I got to get some sleep because I have a website to work on tomorrow and pictures to take, and that is never fun. So, I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Hopefully, I got through to someone tonight, hopefully. And if not, free Karen Reed. But like I said, I'm also working on some sound effects. I'm working on a couple of things. We're busy. All right, but good things happening this weekend. And I will see all you beautiful people tomorrow. Hopefully with an update. And that's it. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Peace.